Hello, another Tuesday evening is here with us and time for the SDG-Hub. Good evening and welcome. My name is Emmanuel Aboagye-Wiafe and I'm co-hosting this program with
Rosemary Balami.
Tonight on SDG-Hub, we'll be discussing the topic Ditching Plastics, a look at the plastic-free school project. Our guests tonight, Olivia Pokah, National Operator, Eco Schools Ghana, and Elvis Aboluah, Manufacturing Manager, Trashy Bags Africa. Business PM is proudly brought to you in partnership with the Center for Sustainable Transformation. This is the SDG Hub, where we discuss the challenges and opportunities, both in practice and business, to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs for short. These are 17 goals with 169 targets developed and agreed upon by the UN member states, including Ghana, to make the world a more just, equitable, greener, and peaceful place. I'm your host, Emmanuel Aboagye-Wiafe, and my co-host,
Rosemary Balami.
She's from the Young Reporters for the Environment YRE at the Center for Sustainable Transformation, CeST. Well, last week we discussed the pressing issue of plastic pollution in Ghana, its impacts and practical solutions to tackling the problem. Olivia Pokah, Special Advisor to the Minister of Environment Education, as a key, or identified education as a key to tackling the plastic problem. In case you missed it, you can find videos on our Facebook page. This week, we'll be looking at how educational institutions can play an important role in minimizing plastic pollution in Ghana by focusing on the initiative called the Plastic Free School Project. This is in collaboration between the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, the Ministry of Education, and the Education for Sustainable Development Program known as Eco Schools Ghana, which is run by the Center for Sustainable Transformation, the Basel, Rotterdam and Stockholm Convention. This episode has a special focus on SDG Target 4.7, which says that by 2030, ensure that all learners acquire knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, including, among others, through education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyles. To share their experience so far with the project, we've been joined in the studio by the main organizers and a partner for the Plastic Free Campus Project, who will be telling us more about the project, expected outcomes and future prospects. But first, let's remind ourselves of some facts on the plastic waste situation in Ghana.
All right, Emmanuel. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, in Accra alone, about 300 tons of plastic waste is generated daily and 73% end up as waste. Out of that waste, there is 8.2 billion sachets of water from annual consumption only in Ghana. As a result, plastic pollution is impacting various aspects of the country, especially drainage systems when it rains, the fisheries sector where fishermen are currently lamenting on catching plastics instead of fishes. The tourism sector has also been impacted with cities engulfed in plastic waste, and the beaches which serve as tourist attractions also getting polluted with lots of plastics. So yes, Emmanuel, plastic pollution is a national canker which we need to employ more systematic approaches to tackling.
Of course, and we are so intrigued this evening about the Plastic Free School Project that we have two facilitators that I mentioned earlier. Olivia Pokah is a National Operator, Eco Schools Ghana, and Elvis Aboluah, Manufacturing Manager, Trashy Bags Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Right. So what do you do first, lady?
Okay, so as you rightly said, I'm Olivia Pokah, the National Operator for Eco Schools. What we mainly do is, you mentioned, we target, our very target on the SDGs is the SDG Goal 4, that is quality education. And under that, we are targeting mainly on the SDG Goal 4.7, where by the end of 2030s, we are to educate people on students or everyone across the country on sustainable development issues and how we can find innovative solutions to come up or bring innovative solutions from the youth to work on these issues.
Is this achievable? We have seven years more to go for the deadline.
Yes, I feel honestly it's achievable because education is key, honestly, and every day people are going to school. So when people are being taught or students are being taught normal things, they grow up with it and they kind of become a societal norm because they already have that idea in their mind. So I think targeting from the grassroots, that is education, is very important, and I think it's achievable.
Right, let me go to Elvis. Trashy Bags Africa, what exactly do you do?
The Trashy Bags is a company that is into recycling, particularly kinds of plastic that is becoming a huge problem in our environment. We have the water sachet, pieces of fabric, billboards, and the whole range, even some kind of material also from corporate institutions. So over the years, we look at how we can broaden in terms of the material usage, trying to arrest all these materials that otherwise are on the environment and causing all these problems that we have.
So it's kind of a value chain. You have people collecting the plastics and bringing them to you, right?
Yes. The initial stages, we saw that people will want to be involved in the collections, but once there's no value for the material, they won't readily do it. But they know they can collect so much, bring to Trashy Bags, and they get income for that, they get paid for that. So people readily collect that, and indirectly they're cleaning the environment, and then we're making bags and using the bags as a strategic way of showcasing education, as Olivia said.
Okay, interesting. All right, so once again, welcome to the studio. Now, let me start with you, Olivia.
Okay.
So the project focuses on reducing, or before then, what exactly is a plastic-free school project? How many schools are involved, and how long is it going to last?
Okay, so thank you for the question again. So the Plastic Free School project is a collaboration between the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, the Ministry of Education, the Basel, Rotterdam and Stockholm Convention for Hazardous Waste, the Center for Sustainable Transformation, specifically the Eco Schools, and it's founded by the Norwegian aid, that is the NORAD. So this school saw the Ministry of Education selected 2 schools for this pilot phase of the project. So the minister selected the St. John Bosco at Tema, a basic school, and also the Accra Technical Training Center, a technical and vocational school here in Accra. So with the question of how long is it going to last? So
exactly.
The program is going to last for a specific month, like within specific month, and it's not just going to end after the project has ended, but we are trying to inculcate the habit by forming clubs, by localizing everything to suit the schools, so that these students can even take it up whilst the project has ended here.
Interesting. Now, Elvis, the project focuses on reducing plastic waste. Now, Trashy Bags Africa, like you said, is a key partner to you on this project, and ACTA also here in Ghana. And when it comes to getting plastics for environment, what exactly are you doing?
Yeah, actually, we saw that the problem is so colossal, the plastic problem. So what we've done over the years is building these networks with institutions, individuals, because we're working hard to actually make it very virus in terms of everyone getting involved and then building it to a higher scale. So over the years, we've come to appreciate people who will readily collect the material for us. We appreciate people also who are working as part of their corporate social responsibility with us in diverse ways, making these products and also reclaiming all these plastics from different sources.
So what about the domestic approach, where you go to homes and ensure that they have 2 different maybe trash cans, one for plastics and then the other for others?
The educational aspect has helped a lot, the awareness creation. Not just formal education alone, but even the informal. What has happened is that we realize that with the different categories of material, plastic and others, once people know the sources of places where they can actually recycle these, what happens is that you have people come around, they know the ferrous people have come, they can sell their ferrous metal, they know they have the broken bottles, people can buy those to make beads, and then other kinds of plastics that we use. So readily they begin to do the source separation because they know different people are able to recycle those. The challenge is still with a kind of plastic that is not recyclable, especially the single-use ones. And that's why we intensify in the educational aspect that people should have reusable products that will give the product the plastic.
Last week we learned of a term called orphan plastics. I don't know whether you also deal with that.
How is that?
Well, I think those are the normal plastics that are thrown outside every day.
Yeah, and that is a big problem because they're everywhere and yet not being recycled. You saw the figures in terms of the percentage of what is not recycled.
Right.
It's really so huge.
Right.
It's huge.
Now, Olivia, considering all of this, how do how does the Eco Schools Ghana project come to play in this?
Okay, so thanks again. The Eco School project, or the Eco Schools project here running in Ghana by CeST, is a globally environmental educational program accepted worldwide. Okay, so we use the 7-step methodology to work. So the 7-step methodology has everyone inclusive, from the teachers to the parent to the management of the school. Everyone is inclusive. So we use our steps to work on the plastic free school project, and also with our experience, because we've been working with these things for quite some time now. So with our experience and our know-how, we work as a team. I don't work alone as a national operator. I have a team to work as a team to make sure that the plastic free school project is being done and done well, and is kind of promoting societal behaviors with the youth in various schools to at least take it home. Because when I say parents, as he said, with other plastics in the house, if parents are involved in the education are given to the parents, not only the children understand the concept of plastic waste separation on campus, but they take it home, their parents are also involved, and things like this are being done. And we don't get to see orphan plastics, as he said, in our communities.
Okay, interesting.
That's very interesting. So since the project has already started and workshops have been done with the teachers and students, let's hear from some teachers and students about their experience with the plastic-free schools.
Hello, what's your name?
Hello.
So what do you study at ATTC? Okay, so today you were at the plastic-free school workshop. What did you learn from this workshop?
How to use plastic from the house as in waste. Plastic from the house cannot just be thrown away, but can be recycled into various items for daily needs. And I think for waste from the house, such degradable materials must be put into different sorts of containers within their degrading nature.
So before this, did you know anything about this whole plastic pollution?
Yeah, I knew something about it.
So what do you think about this whole plastic-free school project?
I think it's a good project which will reduce waste around the environment.
Okay, those are interesting reflections from the participants. So one of the outcomes, Elvis, mentioned in this is recycling and upcycling of plastic waste. And we know that that's what Trashy Bag does. So can you tell us the role that Trashy Bags play in this plastic-free school?
Yes, basically the plastic-free schools, we're talking of the new generation students, young ones. And then we see the young ones as the hope for the future in effecting a change. So what effectively our collaboration in this is that the education intensified, and then also material is everywhere around them in schools, at home, and in communities where they find themselves. And so we collaborate in terms of getting these materials back, building positive habits with them to grow, because eventually some of them will grow and they'll fall into positions where they'll take decisions, policies, and then all that. And in the long run, that will be very effective.
Okay. So right now, let's talk about the process of this whole upcycling and recycling of these filter sachets. So do you get students involved? Do they learn the process and all that?
Yes, we do host a lot of schools, local and international schools. Okay. So then we take them through a tour, and then they learn how we. The idea is to let them know that innovatively we can all contribute with our ideas, come out with something positive. So we do have school kids coming, and then we have our professional workers who make the standard upcycle products that you see.
So let's talk about the student engagement. Are they really do you get these students to be really involved? And I learned there's this buy back scheme that you have as well. Can you tell us something about that scheme as well? And how can students and the general public be encouraged to participate in plastic waste reduction efforts?
Yeah, because we realize that we are all involved in terms of the problem, and then getting everyone involved also with the solutions is very important. It's just a typical students or parents, we all shop. So we realize that that's also another big aspect. In the process of shopping, the people harvest a lot of plastic. So that's why in terms of our products also, we use some of our products also to showcase to people having a reusable shopping bag is very relevant instead of having plastic every single time you go to the market or shopping center. And so that is really working really very well. And then we have the situation where also the children help with parents and also back at home, the younger ones to grow with the understanding about it. Because we did a simple comparison also with the local schools and then the international schools like the Lincoln and other schools. And then you see that the level of knowledge, awareness is really, the disparity is so much. And so you see the international students also, because of their well-view exposure, they do understand so much. Whereas with the local schools, we are still not there. So that's why we have to intensify the educational aspect.
Indeed, we need to intensify the educational aspect. So now, Olivia, let me come to you. We've seen a number of projects being piloted over, the years, and sometimes these projects die out. So what are the next steps, and what measures have been put in place to ensure that this plastic-free school project will be sustainable in the long run?
Okay, so plastic waste has been a challenge, and with our experience, and as I said earlier, education is a key factor. We do our best to educate both the management of the school, the teachers, and the students about waste separation. We also take their ideas and innovative solutions on how we can upcycle some of these plastics on their various campuses. Like, for instance, when we went to have the workshop at ATTC, students came up with innovative ideas on how we can upcycle these plastics on their school campus, and it was very great. You should have been there to hear these students talking about innovative ideas. And I believe that when education is being promoted, plastic waste education is being promoted in schools where these various stakeholders are involved, it's a process. So unlike other, as she said, the question, unlike other people, they start a project and it dies. So I feel that we localize the project. We develop an action plan with the people, the community, so that it can be something they are going to do, even if the project ends. Okay, so it's going to be a normal practice. They are going to be doing, getting innovative ideas. I think when you take it from that angle and you localize the plans or the projects to suit the community or to suit the school, they even take up the project, even if the project has ended. So I believe education is key, and also giving the students or the teachers or the community the necessary tools to come up with these innovative ideas. And I think when these are being done, honestly, we can mitigate, or we can see the impact of what we are doing as eco-schools or as a country. Yeah.
Right. Now, before I get your last words, Elvis, trashy bags. So at the end of the value chain, what do you produce, and how do you get them back into society for people to patronize?
Yeah, we actually make a very large number of a range of products. And strategically, we're not just making any product at all, but we're making products that also target building forward the education and then the impact that we want to make. For instance, for the sake of shopping, we know a lot of people shopping. We all actually shop. So that's why we have this, the smart bag. It's the brilliant one. It's a reusable shopping bag that you can put up to 20 kilos of stuff in, and it's really very strong.
Wow.
I think some of his stuffs are here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We see them.
So,
Yes.
Okay.
And then we've had people using these for years, and then they're still solid. Then,
I think I saw some pictures some time back that plastics were being used for construction. Construction of structures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and then we
Very
have
innovative.
and then we have the school bag, as well.
Okay.
And then we use that backpack also as a campaign.
And they are durable.
They are,
Okay.
they're strong, and then also somehow waterproof because when it rains, plastic it doesn't seep through, so that helps. And then with the school bags, and when we at various times when we get sponsorship, we make a lot of them, take them to local schools where kids can actually get stuff to go to school, like stationery, and we give that to the school children, and then they go back home and then back to the communities, and then they become the ambassadors, spearheading our campaigns.
You are really contributing your best to society, and I wish you all the best. But finally, Olivia, let's still talk about sustainability. Now, what are some of the initiatives that you are taking to promote the culture of sustainability and reduce plastic waste beyond the school community?
Okay, so as I said, we don't target only the school community. We involve the parents of these students, because we believe that there are a lot of students in school and a lot of parents. So the ratio of parent to students are the same. So when we propagate this news through their various PTA meetings and they get the idea, is the best. So as I said earlier on, education is the key. We have to educate. Some of them might not know. Some of them, because I believe some people here in Ghana are still burning pure water rubbers, which is very, very not good for the climate. So I think the education needs to be there. So we are doing our possible best as Center for Sustainable Transformation and also as Eco Schools to educate, targeting all stakeholders in the schools as well as the parents of these students. So we are not targeting only the students, as I said, targeting janitors, targeting cleaners of the school, canteen matrons and everything of the school to get involved, because this issue is not like something we are just looking at it. It's a very big issue, and before we can eradicate plastic waste pollution or anything, we have to educate them. So I believe education is key. So I urge all other stakeholders to get involved. Let's educate through big campaigns. Let's going down to their level, localizing it for their understanding so that they get a concept. And I think in next 2030, I'm sure Ghana should be at least free from plastic pollution.
That's the hope. That's the hope. But in all circumstances, you have people who actually resist some kind of change. So in this education process, do you have people who are not too happy with what you are doing?
Oh yes, honestly, there are bad nuts in good nuts sometimes. But
so what do the bad nuts do?
Yes, but it takes time. Okay. It takes time. Somebody doesn't care about the environment. Somebody cares about what he's going to eat. But little did he know that when you pollute the waters, when you pollute the environment, these aquatic lives also, they don't know plastic is harmful. So they also take it, digest it, and you go and buy that same fried fish at the roadside, and you're also taking back that chemicals of the aquatic life. So I think it's high time we have to sit them down. We are doing our best, as I said. It's not easy because the mentality of I'm not the one to clean. Of course, there are other people who clean. It's the work of other people. Should be changed. Like, we should forget about that and see how we can all work together. If we really want the betterment of Ghana, we can't do it all by ourselves. So we urge all stakeholders, parents, to also initiate, advise their siblings. What we are doing right now, their children. What we are doing right now is to promote the use of reuse bottles in schools, so that children will go to school with like their water bottles, their bowls and everything, so that you don't go and buy, because even in Ghana, when you want to buy one cocoa, they give you first rubber, second rubber, third rubber, just for one cocoa 2 cents. So you get it. So we have to really educate our people, our mothers, our fathers, and I think it all boils down to localizing to their come very low to them, so that they understand that yes, we have to take care of the environment.
Okay. Elvis, your final word.
Yeah, so I think that we have believed that there's no contribution that is minimal, and we shouldn't see the plastic plague as something that is like responsibility to some segment of some working to deal with that. It's all of us, and then the solution, the problem is generated by all of us, directly or indirectly. So we all should be involved in dealing with that. And then, like Olivia said, we have to also maintain that low profile, that everyone will be comfortable to get involved. And it will get to a point where if this actually scales up, people will see themselves obviously as the weird ones. When they are the deviants, they will see themselves as the weird ones. And by that time, we would have been making a bigger impact.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Olivia and Elvis, for sharing your expertise and insights on this conversation. Now, if you're a listener between the ages of 11 and 25 and get inspired to write, make a video, or take photographs of issues relating to environmental problems and solutions, or if you know someone who does, the YRE has its annual competition out now. Visit our website at cestint.com/YRE competition for further details. Grab this opportunity to give the environment a voice. Who knows, you could be our next lucky winner. So tune in same time next week as we continue discussions on all things sustainable development right here on Asaase Radio 99.5 as we build a better future for people and the planet.
We're so grateful for your time tonight on the SDG-Hub, and we've been speaking with Olivia Pokah, National Operator, Eco Schools Ghana, and Elvis Aboluah, Manufacturing Manager, Trashy Bags Africa. I've been your host, Emmanuel Aboagye-Wiafe, and I did this as usual with my co-host,
Rosemary Balami.
Thank you once again, and good evening. Back to Peaches.